have to do with what's going on in Nevada with a stalker and the abduction of Tony Fredinelli's child, an illegal detainer and threatened second illegal detainer, unlawful imprisonment, denial of bail, denial of arraignment, the accommodation of opening bogus custody matters based on fraudulent DNA tests, and the tyrannical the tyrannical terrorism criminal felonies being perpetrated by one Clark County, Nevada Family Division Judge Thomas Arthur Ritchie, who, since he took the bench in 1999, missing and exploited children's rates have ballooned 300%. Children being murdered have ballooned 300%. Runaways, homelessness have ballooned 300%. He has something to do with trafficking children, giving children to their abuser, using his positioning to record in blank DNA tests that are clearly marked, this cannot be used in court, accepting that and rejecting into the record the California Supreme Court's order conformed on October 1st and entered 2011 that yes, in fact, 16-year married husband and wife Christy Fredinelli and Anthony Fredinelli are in fact the natural parents of 15-year-old, natural parents and exclusive legal guardians, California residents of 15-year-old Joseph Fredinelli and 5-year-old Michaela Ray Fredinelli. So we have a criminal RICO indictable judge. Why? Because what it has to do with, he's covering up the insurance fraud schemes, not just in Nevada, but that are going on in this copyright infringement case to tap the insurance, delay the litigation of this so that the insurance can be exhausted by the attorneys. Just keep billing by the attorneys. And then when you complain about one attorney, they say, oh, you're just disgruntled, you're unreasonable, you're abrasive, because you're actually saying something about what I'm doing to you and you're not being quiet about it and living in destitute. And Anthony Fredinelli has become indigent and financially destitute such that he needs the release of this money, the rightful and fair release of the money that was already put in trust settlement that has been obstructed by his own counsel in conflict of interest with the defendants and cross-claimants counsel, threatened him that if he continued the lawsuit, that his daughter would be kidnapped. So that's what this is about. There's someone is getting the help, a psychopathic person who has performed serial crimes, an HCTZ drug dealer, an Argentine immigrant, has gotten the help and funding of not just the funding, the official positioning and authority being wielded of the Nevada court system to perpetrate personal injuries by child sex trafficking in the porn industry, because it behooves Judge Arthur T. Ritchie's agenda. Okay, what I'll do is maybe I'll have time. I doubt it. I hope to have time to do a series of interviews on this, particularly the crimes going on with Nevada Judge Ritchie. But we have an interview of a victim who was able to get a victim of Judge Ritchie who was able to get the entire district recused because they were allowing Judge Ritchie to perpetrate crimes upon American families, felony crimes upon American families. Remember, the U.S. Department of Justice has a definition for what official corruption, fraud, and civil rights felonies are. And it's nothing more than felony crimes being perpetrated upon you by somebody officially positioned to do so. We don't have to be, nobody asked us if we were attorneys before they perpetrated these crimes on us. They didn't sit us down and say, look, did you go to 6 years of law school? Did you pass the bar? Because we're about to really jack you up. And you're going to need to know how to write a brief. And you're going to need to know how to write a complaint. Okay? No, they didn't ask us. So once we know a crime has occurred and we have the verified evidence publicly recorded that the crime has occurred, responsibly recorded, publicly posted, the Americans citizen can now restore courage to journalism. Stop waiting for sponsorship-driven media to take up your story. It was not a story. It's a crime. It's an aggravated assault. It's a theft of heritage, freedom, future, devastation of health, household finances, destruction of businesses, vested interests, fraud upon the U.S. economy. Normally, U.S. economy enriching contributions, career contributions are not making it to enrich our economy because they're unfairly siphoned into pedophilia, sex trafficking, sex entertainment, runaways, homelessness, drug addiction, alcoholism, cutting yourself, self-hate, self-destruction, turning on your parents, and total chaos. So that is why it is a societal preservation obligation to innovate. No matter what you think about any politician, when President Obama delivered his State of the Union address, he said we have to out-innovate, out-educate so we can be even competitive on the global market. We must reform our government. So if we innovate tools that allow us to measure individual accountability, we don't have to condemn our civilization. We don't have to say that, oh, we're uncivilized people. We can pick out the people that are acting criminally, abusing their official position to perpetrate felony crimes, and then leverage prosecution upon them. And judges, sadly, functioning freely in family court, that are criminals, are no exception. Now, the citizen, by gathering our evidence jurisdictionally through standard access to litigation and law enforcement referral, that's what HireLyrics is simply a mechanized solution to a systematic, mechanized, emotionless attack. Alright? There's no emotion involved. It's all financially driven. So why would you get caught up in emotion? Yes, it's emotional to have your family stolen from you and your health stolen from you, and then disabled and wrongfully killed, and the terrible things that happen. But once you decide that you're at a point where you know that nothing you did deserved that, and nothing you do or don't do is going to stop it, that they're going to make sure you are completely depleted, drained for the billability that they can get from you, your children, the transport of human beings, if you are overpayment and fraudulent payment of child support, bill double, triple billing to the federal funding source. When you really get ready to fight back, you will be responsible, you will be lawful, but you will be aggressive, and nobody has to give you permission to report a crime. You will shout it from the rooftops. Restore courage to journalism. The U.S. citizens control the public docket. Tell the truth for the sake of truth in public record. If one of us should fall, or 10 of us should fall, or 100 of us should fall, we will have a community needs-powered, personality independent mechanism in place which will automatically trigger the rescue of children kidnapped for profit injured. I am Roxanne Grinage. I'm the grandma of 6/8/10 mob assault abducted and destroyed by judicial corruption in Philadelphia family court, Fern Brown Kaplan Esquire and Judge Robert J. Matthews, who have more victims than Penn State Gary Sandusky, more criminal child abuse victims than Penn State Gary Sandusky. And I made it my business to document the claims through standard access of people who believe that Judge Kevin M. Dougherty, the administrative judge here in Philadelphia, and Judge Robert J. Matthews need to be disbarred and go to jail. They need to be prosecuted. The challenge is, how do you get that data to a prosecutor, to your state's attorney general, to the U.S. attorney, when the U.S. attorney tells you it's not because your evidence that you delivered here wasn't accurate or true or factual, it's because we can only act upon referrals from other law enforcement agencies or courts. So when you're complaining about the courts, how do you get a prosecutor to act on citizens, community-specific, jurisdictionally poisoned, confirmed evidence of a need for federal and state special prosecutor intervention, investigation, indictments, and audits? And that would be your layperson referral. You don't just talk about your case. You don't just talk about your story and your feelings and your emotions. Work all that out in therapy. You give them the verified facts and evidence of individual accountability, of who broke laws, who put evidence in the best interest of families in the shredder, who violated federal rules of practice, state statutes. If there's a federal statute, there's a corresponding state statute for identity theft, perjury, who created perjury to cause that state court to make decisions that are legal malpractice and how that legal malpractice resulted in personal injury and a public safety emergency in a corruption-poisoned jurisdiction that cannot police itself. I love you, Ezekiel Zakael Brown and Ariel Roxanne Brown. One day you will know the truth. Restore courage to journalism. The U.S. citizens control the public docket. God bless everyone.